Hey, hello there. Thank you to join another class. Let me check if everything is working fine. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3. The sound is there. Hey, hello there. Okay, so in today's class, we'll keep solving the exercise questions about selection command. Basically, we're gonna be use the command if. Later on, we go back to the theory. We're gonna learn another command, the switch, and then we're gonna keep apply it. We're gonna start very slow, very easy, because this is the fundamental part to really open our mind for programming logic. If this get confused, nothing else will make any sense. Is that why you have like 20 questions here? They go from very easy to some complex that we find in any system out there. So it's not difficult, but take time for our mind to assimilate and make part of our thought process. So the first question is this: read two integer numbers and print the one with highest value. Assume the values are not the same. So this was just to make easier. So let me copy the question here. I already create all the question here, so make it easy for us to just do something like this. Oh, sorry. I put this here. Remember, explain about the namespace. So this will be our namespace. What I'll do is let's go to our entry point. I put the namespace here. I will copy this guy. I hope you all know what I'm doing here. So this will be the namespace. This will be kind of file that I'm running. So it'll be question 01. Oops, sorry, 01. And then the method run. What is missing here? What is wrong? Oh, sorry. This should be question 01 to match the file name there. Does not need to be the same name. We will learn about all this later. So like this. So what I'm doing here, I want to change my project that when I press F5 or I run, we run this code here. Okay, so this is very easy. What we're doing is we're going to read two numbers. That part is very common for any engineer. There is part of the work that is already like automatic. It is what we call boilerplate code. The code that is so easy, you just copy and paste. Even your project already have out of the box that you can just use it. So we need to read two integer numbers. So we already have this in our mind. So.write, and we'll print like number one. I'm pretty sure no one has any doubt about this. So let's call number one, and then int parse and console dot read line, and then this. Copy and paste. Remember to change this to number 2 and this to number 2. So what we did so far, the input. We allow the user to provide two numbers. Later on, we will do something similar for web. So we have component webs that make even easier than this. Now that we have the two numbers, we have to decide how our program will run. So what we need to do, print the one with the highest value. So let's do this. We know that to print one of them, if I want to print number one, will be this. If I want to print number two, will be this, right line, number two. If we run this program, we will always print both of them. But we only want to print the biggest one, the highest one. That means should be this or this. We are assuming already that they are not the same. So what we need to do, exactly what a selection command, a if command, give us the ability to. So when are you print this? When this number is the highest one. And how you do that? If we must put open and close brackets, and then when number one is greater than number two, is that why we learn like those relational operation? What you do, we print this guy. Remember that it's always a good idea to put open and close brackets. Else, what we do, we print number two. I'm missing this. I'm gonna do this mistake a lot because I was working before in a company that we are using Kotlin, and Kotlin is based on Java, but we don't put those, we are not required to put those. And before, another language in Microsoft was Scala that has a similar idea. So it's very common to move in jobs and you work in multiple languages, you do those silly mistakes. It's like when you know multiple language and you're gonna speak, sometimes you use a word that does not exist in the target language, but because your brain is wired for that one. So what we're doing here, we are saying, okay, we have to do one thing that will be print the biggest number, the one with the highest value. So what we're doing, if they are not equal, because it's assumption that we can have. If number one is greater than number two, that means I should print number one. And I should not print number two. This is very important. Every time there is a if and a else, only one of them will be executed. So if this is true, we go to this block and you ignore the other block. If this is false, we ignore this block and we go to this one. So if we want to have a visual representation of this, will be something like this. Let me just copy this. I know that some people are very visual, so let me put this way. This is our code. I put it here. Let me, oh, because it was, okay, let me try a different approach. I put this guy and just, okay, now it's better. Up, I want to move it. So if we want to represent this program like in a timeline, it will be like this. We'll do the command always 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So all those, they're gonna be executed in sequence regardless what we do. Oops, sorry. There's another command. There's another command. Oh, come on, Jose, what are you doing? There's another command, and there's another command. Oh, I'm using the one. What the heck? Okay, let me do this. I'm doing like, I click, and I, okay. So that means they are always executing a series. Now we have this. Okay, we're gonna create a selection in our code. And the selection will be if number one is greater than number two. So this is what we will check here. If that is true, we'll do the number. I didn't put the number here, sorry. It will be 5, 6, and 7. So if it's true, this was 5. Let me put the 5 here. So if this is true, we will do the 6. Oh, sorry, 6. That 6 is exactly, we are printing this number 1. If it's false, let me put those here, 2, and then false. Oh, sorry, false. So now you have visually a way to understand how a simple if command works. Let me just do the indentation. And here we're gonna execute the 7. Just to remember that after we go back to our main line, whatever is here will continue as usually, like anything else. In our case, there is nothing else, so the command, I could put here like something like console.writeLine. The program is complete. So we would have here something like this. This guy eight, for example, will be here. And will always be executed. There are even some tools that we code like this visually with diagrams and blocks, and it's good. Okay. So now let's go back and then let's test our code. Let's run it, because maybe we type something wrong. Our eyes, at least when are above 50, lies to us. Sometimes you think you see something, but it's different. That's why you can never trust code. So let's put 8 and 2. We're gonna print 8 because this was, let me put a breakpoint. If I run, now let's put 2 and 7. What happened here? 7 is greater than, 2 is greater than 7. No. If I ask this expression to be evaluated, and watch, it's false. So if this is false, our program knows that it's going to jump to the next else. If there is a else. If not, we just move to the next command. Now that is false, what is inside here? We're going to print the number 2. And then we're going to do whatever is after, that is, complete the program. One question that someone could ask, imagine that this is a certification exam. What happens if the two numbers are equals? Which one of those commands will be executed? Well, we can imagine that it's 4 and 4. 4 is greater than 4? No. We'll come here, we still print 4. That is not a wrong result, because depending how you see what is the biggest number, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 0, and 4. The biggest number is 4. But happen more than one time, but it's not part of the requirement. And to make it easier, we have this. Cool. So I hope you can associate this diagram with this code, because this is exactly what happened. And now what we're going to do, we're going to figure out for every problem, how should we break down our code with if and else, if it's needed, to give the expected response. Cool. So this is very easy. I recommend you to pause here, try to solve the next few ones. If you have any difficulty, then come back, or even when you finish, come back, because I try to explain some. Another thing I forgot to mention. We could do this a different way as well. For example, I can copy this. Every if there is the inverse, I could ask something like this. If number 1 is smaller than number 2, then I will print first number 2. Otherwise, I will print number 1. I don't like this because the way that you are solving the problem is the inverse what the problem is state. We want the highest number. And then we test if number 1 is smaller. If is, we print number 2. Another way that we could do is like this. We could ask if number 2 is greater than number 1. If that is true, we'll do exactly like this. Missing this. Or we could do this way as well, if we did this way. If number 2 is smaller than number 1, print number 1, otherwise print number 2. This is something that make people like or not like some kind of developer, some type of program, because I'm pretty sure some people would not like one of those. They all should give the same result, unless I copy and paste and did some mistake there, but let's try. 5 and 1. So here I ask, 5 is greater than 1. If it's 2, we will print 5 and ignore this. This is like another program, is after that. Whereas 5 is smaller than number 2, no. So we're gonna print number 1. Now yes, number 2 is greater than number 1, no. So print number 1. And now I ask, number 2 is smaller than number 1, yes. So then let's print number 1. Otherwise, print number 2. So the same, I even put some comments here. For 1, method 1, option 1, option 2, option 3, and option 4. So sometimes preference, I prefer to use this one. I think is much better what is being asked here, but who knows? Sometimes our mind is wired in a way that we prefer something different. But just to show you that there is multiple ways that we can write our expression and put our commands in a way that gonna give the same result. Okay? Okay. So now let's save it and let's move to the next question. Let's see what the next question is. Is here. Next question is read. Oh, I forgot to teach something else. Let's go back to this one. I want to show you something that we will learn later on. But there is always a better way to do some stuff. Let me put here option 5. I didn't thought you yet, but there is one function, part of C# already, called math.max. It's already there, someone will create, that we can give it 2 values and it's going to return the max. So if we give that like number 1 and the number 2, this will already return the highest one. So instead of this, I didn't show this way initially because my point here is to teach you how to use if and else. But we could solve this with just one line. Is how I would do if I was doing this. I have 2 numbers, I have to find the highest one. I just use this. Because this function already has inside something similar to this. So if you put a breakpoint here, and let me remove that other one, and I run. And let's put 3 and 9. So we are already using something from the C# language that was created by Microsoft team, that we can already give 2 numbers and it's going to return the highest one. So in this case, we'll get 9. So, of course, we are learning. So we are doing a lot of stuff here that later on we'll learn a better way to do it. But just show you that this is common. Sometimes there are solutions read that you can just reuse, and as more as you know about the language, easier it will be. for you. And this is where AI helps a lot, because for sure AI will come with the solution, unless you say, oh, I want to use if and else because I'm learned. Cool? So just to let you know that there is this way, we're going to learn more about this math and other stuff that is in there, but I open a parenthesis here just to let you know this. Cool? And don't get surprised. Doesn't matter how good, how experienced, how many years of experience you have. One day you're going to build something and someone else, or even you, will find out, whoa, I could change all those 50 lines for just 2 or 3. This happens all the time. Not just in computing, a lot of things. So don't feel bad because of that. It's going to happen eventually. Cool? Okay, so now let's go to the next question. The next question says, read 2 integer numbers and print the one with the highest value. If the values are equal, print equal. So now we have something else. I will even do this. I will copy this. Oh, let me fix this first. Will be question 2. I have to go here to question 2, add a 0 here. And I go to this guy to copy this initial part. Boom. Boom. Oops. Boom. And then the question that should be here. So we are reading 2 numbers. There is no secret there. But now we want to print highest or say they're the equals. So again, we have multiple ways to do this. What I will do to make my mind work in this in an easy way? I will check, is this case? Because it's easy, I say, if number 1 equals to number 2, what I will do? Console dot write line, not print line, equals. Else, then I do another check. If, now will be the previous question. Number 1 greater than number 2, then print, console, Python will be just print, right line, and then number 1. Else, now I don't need to test again because it's logic. 2 numbers can be equals, 1 is greater, if not, the other one is the greater. So else, we can just assume that the biggest one will be number 2. And I'm not going to do all the variation because now you already figure out that can be something very like all this to be niche. We're going to have like 9 different ways to test. So what I'm doing here is, okay, I know that I need to print this when they are equals. So it's the first test I'm going to do because it's easy. Number 1 is equal to number 2? Yes. So then print. If not, I want to check if number 1 is greater than number 2. If it's true, print number 1. Else, just print number 2. Oh, number 2. I could do this like this. Remember that we said, oh, if there is no command, we don't need to put the open and close bracket. I don't like this. I always prefer to put this because visually help you, and eventually you're gonna need to add a new command there. There is a big discussion where is the best place to keep this open brackets. Some people think, oh, I should keep the same line as this. I like this as well, but my team, my current work, decide to go the other way, so I'm good with either way. Some people I know is very picky. They get mad when they see something that is not what they like to do, but it's better to be tolerant. You're gonna work in a company that follow one rule, someone that follow another rule. Even you, after a few years, maybe you're gonna like more the other one, but this is just like formatting. Cool. So let's make sure that we didn't do anything like that. There is some mistake here that you can see. It's very easy for me to do some little thing there. For example, I could put like something like this, or something like this here that could break the program. So I put a breakpoint there, and I think we already running the question too. However, I did something silly. I didn't keep the previous one. F5. And let's test now if the two numbers are equals. So it's not this anymore. It will be number one equals 2, and not even good. It's 2. Then we're gonna go in here. We'll print, and now the catch. When you have if and else that are part of the same if, when one of them is true, that you go there, we just ignore everything else. So after we print this, we go all the way to the end of the if. As there is nothing else, we just see equals. Just to make sure, I put something like this here, console dot write line program, and here. Let's run again. And now let's put 15 and 3. Are they equals? No. Is 15 greater than 3? Yes. We're gonna print 15, and then we ignore what is in the else. That is important to understand. I already saw people in the past having trouble to understand this. Oh, how do I know what is going to execute? This is something like this. You have in our code, let's clean this up. Let me, well, it's similar. I removed this, don't confuse us, but to be something like this. Let's remove this. Oops, sorry. So let's get the program. And see how this works. We are doing something like this. If number one is equal, oh, let me put the numbers here, no? So it will be 1. No, actually, I put the number just here. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we have this if, and this if is if number is equals to number 2. So this is our test. If it's true, we will execute the command 1. And after execute, we always go to the next. But now, if it's false, what we do? We have another test. I will remove this number from here. And this test should be exactly this one. If number 1 is greater than number 2. If it's true, we'll do something. That will be the command 3. And once we do the 3, we go back to the next command. If it's false, we'll do the command. Oh, sorry, this is command 2. My bad. Command 2 here, and here will be the command 3. And then we go back to the next command. And now the command for will be here after all that. So the command for is always executed. So this is how we want you to remember visually how those if-else works. We get one path, if it's true, and we ignore everything else. If it's false, we may have another decision that if it's true, we go this way. And remember, we can have this, and we'll have this in some other question, that there is multiple if and else, if and else. We're gonna solve some problem like this. And then we have this, our solution. So let's run different values. So let's put 1 and then 15. What happened? They are equals? No. 1 is greater than 15? No. So then we go to the last one. And one thing, is there any chance, question for like certification, is there any chance that you are evaluating this expression in these two numbers could be equal? Of course not, because if they are equals, we will go to this path, this one here. And that test is in the other side of the path, in the other one. So we must assume those logical facts. If they were equals, we would go here. If I am in this else, it's because I can assume that they are not equals, they are different. Now I just need to figure out which one is greater. If it's number 1, here. If it's not, I can assume that it's number 2. And I know that they are not equals, because if they are equals, we'll go this way. Cool. Okay, so now let's see the next question. Oops, sorry, it's right here. Let's go here, and the question 3. This is interesting. Read 3 integer numbers and print the highest one. So I'll save it. Oh, I will copy this. Let's go to the question number 3. I'll put it here. And I remember we changed this to 0, 3. Now we go to our program. I make a copy of this. Three. And we already have here where we three numbers. Let's just copy and paste and add the third number. Oops. Come on. Sometimes we want to speed up things, we just need. So I'm reading 2 numbers, I read the third one. This is a very common question when we are teaching coding, because we have a lot of things that we can learn from this. So read the 3 integer numbers and print the highest one. So basically it will be similar to the other one. We have those commands, console dot, oops, oh, I close it. I press Ctrl X. Console dot write line, and then number 1, or number 2, or number 3. Okay? When I print number 1, I can say, oh, will be similar to the other one. If number 1 is greater than number 2, and number 1 is greater than number 3. Can I assume this? If number 1 is greater than number 2 and number 1 is greater than number 3, that means I can print number 1. Looks correct, right? Makes sense, right? Then I'll do this. Else, if number 2 greater than number 1 and number 2 greater than number 3, what can I assume? That the number 2 is the biggest. And I could say, well, if the number 1 is not the greatest, number 2 is not the greatest, I could assume that the biggest one is 3. And this is a good lesson because look, makes sense, right? Well, I'm testing if number 1 is greater than the other 2, and I'm gonna print number 1. Then if not true, I'm gonna check if number 2 is the greatest. If that is true, I'm gonna print it. If not, I'm gonna print number 3. Cool? Okay. So let's do some testing here, as we always have to do. Never trust your code without do proper testing. Let's put a debug. There's a breakpoint. Breakpoint. Oh, debug is your friend. So let's put like 5, 3, and 1. So what is going to happen? Number 1 will be greater than number 2, and number 1 will be greater than number 1. Oh, number 2. Number 1 will be greater than all. So we're going to print number 1, and then we're going to ignore everything else. Correct answer. Let's run again. So let's put the numbers here like 2, 5, and 1. So what is going to happen? Number 1 is greater than number 2? No, this will already be false. And remember, as we are using short circuit, this is not even going to be tested because with AND, both expression has to be true. So as soon as 1 is false, let's add this to the watcher. Add watch. So number 1 is 2. Number 2 is 5. So 2 is not greater than 5. So this will be false. We don't even check this other one. And now we'll check. Let me add those 2 here. Number 2 greater than number 1. Add watch. So it's true. So then the computer says, okay, let me check the next one out. Is number 2 greater than number 3? Add watch. It's true. So if both are true, this is true, we're going to print number 2 and move on. Cool? Okay. Now let's do one more test. 1, 3, and 9. What happened here? This number 1 is greater than number 2. No, it's false. So we ignore this. Number 2 is greater than number 1. Yes. But is number 2 greater than number 3? No. 3 is not greater than 9, though it's false. So then we're going to print number 9. So far we got right results. Okay? Okay. So now let's run this again. And let's test this case here. 5, 1, and then 5. Let's see what happens. 5 is greater than number 1? No. False. And 5 is greater than, oh, if this is false, we don't even go in here. Now you test. Number 1 is greater than number 2? No, this is already false. And then we go here, and then we're going to print number 3 is a correct answer. But we need to we need to understand this. Oh, sorry, not this. I close it. Where is it? we need to pay attention if these signals here, they could give us some trouble. For example, let's try to break this. We run this, let's make 5. Oops, sorry, I need to run it. I didn't run it before. Let's put like, before what I put was 5, 1, and 5. So now let's put 1, 5, and 5. So what happened here? 1 is greater than 5? No, so I ignore this. 5 is greater than 1? No. And is 5 greater than 5? No, this is false. And then we'll print this. It's still a right answer, but I want you to see how we could maybe have some trouble based on some values that we input. Because now some of them can be false because we're not testing if they are equals. Did you get the idea? However, let's put here method 1. Oops, sorry. And then, like the other one, method 2. The method 2, we could use the same function we learned from the previous question. Math dot max number 1. See if you can get this, number 1. And here we do again, math dot max of number 2 and number 3. So what we're doing here? Well, give me the max of number 1, number 2, or number 2 and number 3. When you have that, give me again the max from number 1 and the max of those two. So this thing happen as well. We can create a cascading of function. We could break down, if you want, to make easier to understand, something like this. Or just say max, that we first, math.max, we get 2 of them, and then we do again, let's see which one you think is clear. Max dot, number 3. What I'm doing here is, in this case, I just wrote, let's break it down here to make no, let's keep this way. Oh, no, let's use a variable to make max 1. And let's call this guy max 2. So in this one, I wrote everything in just one line. Some people prefer this way. I have some friends that, I never create an extra line if I can just put one thing here, even if it looks more confused. A lot of other people, this is max 2. Oh, come on, what I'm doing. Max 2, max 2, max 2. So what happened here? We are first calculating the max 2 based on number 1, number 2, and then based on the max 2 plus, and using max 3, number 3. So at the end, both of those will have the max. So let me just copy this. Again, they all must have the same result. So let's save, run again. Uh, 9, 3, and 15. So let's try this way. It will be 15, 15, and then 15. So we are pretty confident, right? So let's do something here, one exercise. I open this. and I check, please. Oh, check if the method 1 of this program could produce an wrong result. Is one thing that AI is helping a lot. Sometimes we make a code and we can say, oh, can you find something here? So look what they say. Yes, method 1 can produce wrong results when the largest number is not strictly greater than the other 3. All right, let's see if it makes sense. Could be a hallucination. Method 1, easy strict comparison. This means if the largest number appears more than once, none of them of the first two conditions may be true. So input 5, 5, and 3. Method 1, we skip the first two conditions and print number 3, which is wrong. Just to make sure that you understand this, as we are testing with just greater, what happens is if you have 5, 5, and 3, this will be false, this will be false, and then we're going to print 3. So we skip the correct case. Method 2 and method 3 are safe. So let's just run this and let's make this verification. Method 1, 5, method 2, oh, number 1, 5, number 2, 5, number 3, 3. So look what's gonna happen. Is this true? No. 5 is not greater than 5. Is this true? No. And then we go to the else, and we're gonna print 3. So there is an error there. And then I'm gonna ask you, okay, how we fix this error? What can we do? Oh, let it run. To fix this. This is what the lesson I would like to teach you today. Sometimes everything makes sense. We didn't test properly. We didn't pay attention to some details, and our code has a bug. This is what we try to avoid. A good engineer is not the one that always has the best idea initially. Are the one that take the time to validate the ideas and make sure that you can find error. And this is where AI helps a lot today. A lot. When you ask, oh, I have this idea, I have this solution. Could you help me how to find out? Sometimes if you just say, oh, solve this problem for me, you don't have a much better result than an engineer could do. But if you ask them to validate, to find for some flaws, and we just found one here. This is what I was trying to show. I could ask AI how to solve, pause the video a little bit and see how can you solve it. Because we could just say, oh, what if I avoid this situation testing like this? Because if they are greater and equals, I want to consider that as a case. Let me run. And then 5, 5, and then 3. What is going to happen? Now you get this case because this will be true because 5 is greater or equals than 5 and this greater than 3. Then we're going to get it. Cool. So I hope you got this lesson. I finished the class today. I guess those 3 questions are good. Keep moving and then use your AI as your support. Right now, don't ask AI or solve this problem for me. Unless you try and have no idea how to do it, you can ask him to explain. But right now we are prepare our mind to solve those things. And I want to show you what happened that we do so many bugs, so many mistakes in code, because sometimes we do stuff that makes sense, but we just miss a little corner case, a little situation that we forgot, that everybody can do those mistakes. Cool? Okay, so thank you for watching a class on a Sunday. Probably not, you're going to wait during the week. God bless you. See you next time. situation that we forgot, that everybody can do those mistakes. Cool. Okay, so thank you for watching a class on a Sunday. Probably not, you're gonna wait during the week.